We have a present for you, Mayor.
Whoa, is that from Chris?
It's from Monica. She washed it and everything. Her name's there somewhere.
Wow, wow, it's a heavy metal joke too on the back. This one
Yeah.
goes to 11, it's from
Yes.
Spinal Tap. This is amazing, it's huge too. This is my class of 96 t-shirt. Looks like she wore it a little bit, you know, one of my classmates gave me. There it is, St. Pius there. That's hilarious. This is gonna be a lot of fun, so thank you. Very cool. I do not still have mine.
Well, there you go. Replace.
All right. So, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning. And I'm wearing my new face mask. I want to show it off. Folks have been sending in some really cool face coverings. And so this one happens to be a pillow that I also have. So you can get this pattern on a lot of folks. It's the state map, but it was amazing because I was like, wow, it's like somebody took my pillow and made a mask out of it. So good stuff. So thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we have a small piece, but a meaningful piece of good news to share today. So our deep dive topic is going to be, of course, about our grant program, the microbusiness grant program, and we're announcing the winners. We wish everyone could get a grant. Of course, we have limited funds, but there are 140 very happy businesses, at least in these times, relatively speaking, that we're announcing today. So we're going to go into that with our Director of Economic Development, Cynthia Jaramillo, in a little bit later. Let's begin, as we always do, with a little bit of updates from around central New Mexico. First, last night, City Council approved a new coronavirus community support and recovery fund. That's going to cover about $1 million for contracts with organizations that are supporting low-income and at-risk populations during these times. So really appreciate City Council's leadership on that, and we're going to work together to help with that. And again, that's for organizations, you know, sort of real-time helping with corona issues, and going to be very helpful right now. Also want to mention that the State Joint Information Center has sent us an update from the Department of Public Safety that is announcing applications that are now open for emergency COVID-19 funding. And so there's $5.4 million available for public safety agencies that are dealing with this. So I'm sure we'll look, of course, at things like APD and others, AFR, but it's open to everyone around the state, so I wanted to pass on that announcement. I think also Workforce Solutions has been doing what they can to help. This has been in the news a little bit, but I just want to reiterate that eligible claimants are going to get an extra $600 in their weekly benefits beginning April 20th. So stay tuned for more on that from Workforce Solutions. Also, the New Mexico Environmental Health Department has a new recommendation with respect to restaurants. They are just recommending that restaurants and food delivery employees wear gloves and face coverings, just a recommendation from their standpoint. Also, Presbyterian's testing site at Balloon Fiesta back open. It was closed yesterday because of the weather. Want everyone to know it's back open. A couple of notes on government continuity. We now have 15 school drive-up Wi-Fi sites available. So you can check out our website, cabq.gov, for that. So we have 21 of our community centers and city facilities, and then we now have added 15 school sites where folks, of course, are picking up meals. Those are open now, bringing our total, actually, we have a few more. Our total is now up to 35 drive-up Wi-Fi sites around the city. And so we're about halfway there to our goal of 80. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll finish that out. I also want to mention a little bit about 311. I got an update this morning. 311 has been doing really excellent work during these times. They've worked on a social distancing program, work from home program, and their call volume is up over 50% from last year, no surprise. But they're able to handle that so far, by and large, in a great way. So thank you to everyone at 311. Now let's talk a little bit about our main topic today. I want to highlight that it seems like months ago, but it was just 2 weeks ago when we signed an emergency order dedicating $500,000 to support local micro businesses. And we said that this is not a panacea. It's really just filling a gap between all of these federal loan programs and state loan programs that are trying to help small businesses stay afloat. But for really small businesses, what we heard loud and clear is we need funding now to literally just keep our employees and to keep open in general, even if that means in the future, even if they're closed now. And so this was a desperate cry for help from a very narrow sector of businesses who are sort of the most fragile. And in some ways, some of them that have been around the longest in our community. Some of our grantees have been around 40 years plus. But this challenge that they're facing now hopefully will not after this grant, but they're facing a situation where they might have to close their doors forever. And I know a lot of businesses are facing that. But we wanted to step up as best that we could. We had tons of interest in this. 1,300 roughly applicants applied to this. We wanted to find more funding. We were able, luckily, to find another $200,000 from our Metropolitan Redevelopment Program. And so that's why you're going to see there's a weighting towards businesses in metropolitan redevelopment areas so that we could utilize that funding. So in the end, we were actually able to help 140 businesses with these grants today. And again, each micro business is going to get $5,000 that they're going to be able to use for really whatever's most helpful. Cynthia is going to go into some of the criteria. But what I want to do is cut my part really short to share some stories with you. So we have put together a video of some of the award winners. And so if we want to make sure cameras can kind of move, I'm going to cue up our video. And let's hear from some of these folks first.
Hi, my name is Carlos Lopez.
Hi, my name is Renee Karachi, and I own Kids Clubhouse Child Care Center.
Hey there, my name is Mike Silva. I'm the founder and co-owner of Rootwood Cookies.
Hi guys, Laureen Rodriguez here, and I'm the owner of Mariposa Marketing, and we are a marketing company for small businesses here in Albuquerque.
My name is Melissa. I am the owner of Stitchology on Rio Grande.
Hi, my name is Chong Wing. I am the owner of Cafe Dalat, a small Vietnamese restaurant in the International District.
Hey everyone, this is Natalie and Alex and my mom who's not here, Elvira from Chili Fix.
My name is Frank Sandoval with Breaking Bad RV Tours and the New Mexico Film Tours. In early March, we had to shut down operations, which actually negatively impacted our business. As you know, many of our visitors come from out of state or from other countries.
Our business relies heavily on the patronage of our great customers, as well as the many events that the city of Albuquerque puts together every single year. When the state of emergency was declared, 75% of our event contracts were canceled within 2 days.
I've just received a phone call from the city of Albuquerque that our application for the C grant has been approved. I'm very thrilled that this money will keep my business afloat for a little while.
As a micro business, we greatly appreciate this opportunity to receive this $5,000 grant offered by the city of Albuquerque.
Yeah, this will help keep us afloat. It'll help with rent, utilities, to keep our people paid, and just to ensure that we're going to be here after all of this is over.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity that you're awarding us to stay in business and provide food for our community and for the people that are still working now.
This funding will help support my 4 employees for the next 2 months.
And we are grateful for the city's ongoing support of our little software business and all of the businesses here in Albuquerque.
And so we just want to extend a really big thanks to Mayor Keller and to the City of Albuquerque Economic Development Department and just overall our city. We're so blessed to live and work here. There's no other place in the world we'd rather do it.
And so thank you to the city of Albuquerque. Greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to getting on the other side of this. Wow.
So, thank you. I am so appreciative, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
That is awesome. Well, a lot of these folks, when we first called them, some of them actually broke down in tears. They were just so grateful and so desperate for this funding. So with more on this, I want to bring up our Director of Economic Development and the woman who put all this together and who's behind all of it, Cynthia Jaramillo. Come on up. And I think what we'll do, I'm going to do a little shifting, put this between you and the speaker. Okay.
All right.
I'll scoot over here.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Mayor. And hello, everyone. As Mayor mentioned, my name is Cynthia Jaramillo, and I have the privilege of serving as the Economic Development Director for the City of Albuquerque. My team and I are very happy to announce the Micro Business Relief Program grantees. A reminder, the criteria laid out included but was not limited to 5 or fewer employees, and that also included the owner. The business had to be registered and physically located in Albuquerque. They had to demonstrate financial hardship due to COVID-19. The business had to be in business for at least 6 months. They also have to be willing to provide a report back in the next 6 months. And no franchises and no business restricted to 18 or older qualified for the Micro Business Relief Grant. As Mayor mentioned, we received over 1,300 applications just in 1 week. My team vetted and recommended 140 grants in increments of $5,000 to be awarded. As Mayor mentioned, and for those of you doing the math, we did secure additional funding to be able to award 40 more businesses. Decisions were based on the program criteria, the impact of the public health emergency on the business or industry, need, location, industry, eligibility, and of course, availability of funds. Now, I won't list all 100 businesses that were granted, but businesses include Sabio Systems, the Albuquerque Collective, Zendo, the Yarn Store at Nob Hill, Frank's Famous Chicken and Waffles, Oak Tree Cafe, Old Town Catering Company, Albuquerque Elite Softball Training, Ambitions Document Solutions, Don's Paperbook Exchange, among were 130 other businesses. Now, we recognize that there is a great need, and while we aren't able to fund everyone, I want all of you to know that the Economic Development Department will continue to actively seek funding and do all that we can to support Albuquerque businesses during and after the current public health emergency. Again, the Micro Business Relief Program was meant and developed to complement other state and federal financial assistance programs. I also want to remind you that the city has also allocated $500,000 for the Creative Economy Fund, of course dedicated to supporting artists and creatives. More information on these funding resources can be found on our resource guide, and you can find that at www.cabq.gov/coronavirus-information. The resource guide is updated as more information and resources are made available. And just a quick reminder before I hand it back over to Mayor Tim Keller, please remember to support local businesses as often as you are able. Purchase gift cards, order delivery or takeout a few times per week. Tip extra if you can. Shop online. Source your groceries local. Or send a friend you are missing a gift from a local business. Please visit www.cabq.gov/economic development or call 505-768-3270 if you have any additional questions. Thank you. Mayor? I'll do this.
Oh, great job to Cynthia and her team, economic development team, and also our metropolitan redevelopment crew that pitched in on this, but just really also grateful and proud of the team at Albuquerque and these offices that really put this together. And so we hope, again, that this really helps out these folks. And I know we're going to get through this, and this is a small way in which our city can directly help out. Now, we are going to also post this video on social media, and we'll send the direct link out as well. So I know if you weren't able to hear it sort of directly, just stay tuned. It'll show up. But some amazing Burqueños in that video for sure. All right, I think with that, what we're going to do is just mention one way you can really help. The demand was so great for this that we are taking donations if people want to add to this program. We can do another round if we get enough donations. And the easiest way to do that, as always, is the One Albuquerque Fund. It's onealbuquerquefund.org. And you can donate through there, and if you want to earmark it to the micro business fund, basically as soon as we get 5,000 in, we'll issue another micro grant. That's the way we'll do this for the time being during Corona. And so if anyone out there or any other larger businesses, et cetera, or philanthropies want to help out, that's the best way to do it, is through the One Albuquerque Fund. Okay, with that, I think we'll take a few questions. Takeout yesterday was Stripes Burrito Company. Awesome. And I really appreciate the extras they gave us too. So, questions for Cynthia or myself?
Do you have any in-person questions?
That's okay.
Yeah, we don't have any on Zoom right now, so.
Nice. All right. Well, we will be back tomorrow at 11:30. And as a small reminder too, if you can, get takeout, buy gift cards, shop local. Thank you.
We have one question. Do we have time to ask it?
Sure. I mean, I'm still here. We have one question coming in.
One coming in. One sec.
We can also.
In a second, we can answer it after.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Thanks so much. Thanks, Cynthia. Great
Great,
job.
thank
Good
you.
work.
Heading over to answer phones. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
This is amazing.
I'll tell her.
What's your?
1996, so it's like,